stop playing away games this year. Ooh. What I mean by that is I recently had a chance to, in Miami, go watch LeBron James play. And it was a sold-out crowd where everybody there was there to watch LeBron, but they wanted the Heat to win. Stop playing away games where people are secretly there to watch your talent, but they want you to lose. Your goal this year, I'll say it again, everybody there was Miami fans, but they were fans of LeBron's talent. You want people that are actually on your team. Why? Because when you start losing, if they're a fan of yours, they will encourage you. They want you to win. They are not going to abandon you when you lose and create an inner scoreboard where you can track score. Money is not the scoreboard for all of us. Peace is. Facts. It is not attainment, it's alignment.
Facts. So welcome to the Path to Prosperity podcast, where we help you make, manage, and multiply your money. I am Ash Cash, the financial motivator, here with Storm Leroy, the employed millionaire, and Marvin Mitchell, Mr. Become Your Own Bank. Cha-ching. And today, we got my guy, Marcus Rosier in the matter of fact, Marcus Y. Rosier.
Appreciate you.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, this is a classic, you all.
Classic.
First guest.
Yes.
First guest of the show, so this is going down in history.
Y'all. So listen, you know, we want to talk, man.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, when he do this,
I start rubbing the legs.
When he do this,
first I start rubbing the legs, and we're gonna get spicy.
Well, first off, Marcus, you got to tell us who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in case you know what I'm saying. We got some new listeners.
So Marcus Y. Rosier, man, the amazing thing that we do with my education company, we work with coaches and entrepreneurs and literally help them go from idea to online income. So we create their course for them. Once we do that, we take them to an online business so they can remove themselves from the day-to-day. So from idea to course, from course to online coaching company.
Yeah,
man,
and
that's
so
a hell of a elevator.
Yeah, and you know, so like I love what Marcus does, because a lot of people are out here really trying to scale, right? Like they're trying to get to the next level. They feel like they need millions of followers, and they're willing to compromise themselves in order to kind of get the most attention. But what you teach is so strategic in, you know, people can make money with 1,000 followers, with 2,000 followers. And so our topic today, somebody else.
All right. So you got, by the way, Marcus is not just a great marketer, but just a great overall man. Just
Thank
cool,
you. Yes, thank you, bro.
family
100%.
man, you know what I'm saying? So, but what we talking about today, especially in this tone that we're in right now, mentors. Like we all mentors, consultants, whatever you call it.
Coaches.
But there's a lot of coaches, consultants, everything. Yeah. And we're in a scam culture right now where everybody is thinking that everything's a scam.
Yeah.
And like people don't know who to trust anymore. Like people don't know if they should give their money to this coach, this guru. And a lot of it's right. There is a lot of scamming that's going along, but there's also a lot of people who are doing good things for the community.
Yeah. Yes.
And if I'm a consumer right now, I don't know who to trust.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody's really trying to help me or if somebody's trying to take advantage of me. So we're going to talk about that today. Is how do you know? How do you know that you're investing in good soil? Yeah. And how do you know that you're not being taken advantage of?
And you know the unfortunate thing about it, right? I was looking at an article, and they talked about how the executive coaching space is growing by the billions each year, right? And so when we look at other communities, a lot of those communities have been on this executive coaching for a very long time. Like I remember, you know, I started my banking career in the late 99, right? So early 2000s. And I remember even though those of us who had degrees and things of that nature, the bank would actually pay for us to take coaching. Like there was like coaching classes and things of that nature. And so this phenomenon of getting coaching and getting specialized skills outside of college is not new. And I'm talking like, you go early 2000s, I remember I got a certificate for something that was like 20 grand, right? So it was like, and if you do the math, inflation, that's like what people pay right now. Yeah. The problem is that it's something new in the entrepreneurship space in the Black and brown community. And what's happening is, because we're not used to that, that was never a conversation that happened in our community. It was always, go to school, get a good job, you know what I'm saying, then retire. There was never this is how you become an entrepreneur. This is this upward mobility. And so now this is something new. So we were skeptical to begin with.
Yeah.
Then you add to the fact that there are bad actors, that there are people who have been taking advantage of our people. And so now you have this phenomenon where people are open to coaching. They tried it, but people are taking advantage of them. But at the same time, there's a wealth transfer happening. And so with all of these open minds, we have to be able to be educated in a way to be able to take advantage of the wealth transfer that's happening. So it's like this conundrum, right? So Marcus, man, talk to us, man. Like what do we do?
Yeah.
How do we figure out how do we know how to vet people?
Man, so I talk in fluent framework, right? So I don't know no other way to answer questions other than through like the lens of a framework. I've got to first say, man, there are 4 types of people that are investing in coaching, right? You've got some people that are what I call immature. They're investing in coaching based on how it makes them look in front of their peers or other people. They want to say, some people want to say, Ash is my mentor. They don't want to do the work. They want association. That's an immature investor. I didn't invest because I want to learn. I invested because I want to look good in front of someone and use your name to build my business, right? You've got what I call an insecure investor. People who invest in their education, what I mean by insecure, of how it makes them feel. I feel better exchanging the money, but I have no desire to do the work.
Wow.
So when I leave out of the emotion of the room, when you say come to the stage, they felt like that was the work.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
right?
I did it.
Yeah,
like
I
bought
did
a
it.
book, I'm never going to read it, but I bought it.
So that what I call the insecure investor, the feeling is standing on stage. It's walking to the back room. It's all the things that happens in that room. But when that emotion leaves and it's like, oh, shoot, I got to do the work. Now I'm going to blame you because I don't feel the same emotion I felt in the room. Well, I'm not supposed to.
Wow.
Right? So you got the immature one that does it based on peers.
Right.
You got the insecure one who does it based on how it make them feel. Then you have the ignorant one that bought something without even knowing what it is. Ignorance is not an insult. It just means to not know.
Right.
There are people who, no one scammed you or cheated you. They gave you what they said they were going to do, but you never listened to what the program promised. Every program has a different promise. The goal of that program, if I say the goal of a program is to pick you up from bad debt and to land you in paid off debt and good credit, I didn't say I was going to make you a millionaire. I just said that I'm going to take you from here to there.
Yep.
Right.
So a person that is ignorant in their investment, it just means you had an assumption. You assume what the program is instead of hearing the actual program promise, right? So you heard what I said when I started. I help coaches and entrepreneurs go from idea or service to online course. That's the first goal, to create a $1,000 course. Here's our program promise. We create the course with you, build the funnel for you, write your emails, build your membership site, and help you launch. That's a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right.
If a person say, well, what about, you created a course, what about my online coaching program? That's at the next level. We didn't promise you that. The next program promise is, now that we created a $1,000 course for you that you can launch and have a 5-figure launch, now I'm going to show you how to create a high-ticket coaching program, not a course, and then go from coaching program to coaching business, where you replace yourself, hire coaches, that you do fulfillment events, you do virtual events, you got operations, SOPs, right? These are different levels and different. If you're in ignorance, bro, you haven't figured out your offer. Why would I teach you how to build a 7-figure company? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so imagine a person
saying ignorance.
So imagine a person saying, well, I thought you were going to teach me everything. A program promise, all I'm going to do is fulfill the promise. So an ignorant investor expects for you to take them from idea to not just online course, which is their first offer. You're going to teach me how to do everything you've learned in 10 years, right? And then the last person is that person that isn't ignorant, isn't insecure, isn't immature, but it's an informed investor where they know this is this is what I need right now. It's like a person who's a speaker. A speaker doesn't need to invest in speaking. They need to invest in marketing because they know how to speak. They just don't know how to market to get more speaking engagements. So an informed person says, I want to buy your skill so I can pair it with the thing that I already know how to do. these are the people we should be looking for, people that are informed. But just imagine though, we normally don't get a lot of informed investors. We get the insecure, the immature, and the ignorant.
Right.
And those are the ones that scream scam.
Wow.
Here's something that I want to ask you about too. We have a lot of people now in the space of information. It's the information that people are hearing for the first time and going, oh, I didn't know I can take my knowledge and create a program. I didn't know I can take what I have and become a coach. You know, now that they're hearing all this coming from someone, do you feel that now it's not the research being done on the person they're hearing it from? Like they hear this thing and now they actually are enamored by the information, but they think it's the person, but it's actually the information that's making you go, oh my God. But you assume that it's the person who's giving you the information. I think more research needs to go in that. So now in your space, you have the person who's one of the three.
Yeah.
Do you find that these people are now enamored with you more than the information you're giving them?
100%. And like for all of us, the assumption is that we do everything. I'm not a solopreneur. Like I've got a few different companies. The one I'm talking about now is my education company. It's 23 people on that team, right? So the person will assume I'm the one responding to emails. Well, that wouldn't make sense.
Right.
They assume that I'm the one doing the intake call. If their payment fails, they think that they'll send me a DM. Hey, sorry about that. I don't even know your pay. Like, you know, like I'm not in the weeds. I got a CEO. I got a COO. I've got multiple coaches on that team. And ours is built where we got a client success team, client fulfillment team, client sales team, client lead team, right? So it's departments within it to make sure it's done. So to that point, if someone comes and say, I just want to work with Marcus only, and that's why they're enamored with me, I think some parts of that is cool. However, they should want to build something that is beyond their brand. They should want to build what we teach. We say everything should be built and pass the B3 test. It should build your brand, business, and bank account.
But what's so crazy is that you have people who actually come to you, and the reason they come to you is that they want scalability and they want time freedom. Right? That's what they want.
Yeah.
But they don't want you to have the same time freedom and scalability. How can a coach teach you to have time freedom and scalability if they don't have it?
Not only that, how can you serve them, right? If for most of us, we have multiple things going on. How can you serve them if you don't have the freedom of what I call think time? If I spend all of my time in the weeds coaching, when do I think to actually coach you with something that actually has substance? When do I read? When do I refuel? When do I intake information? When do I figure out something in my program needs to be tweaked? Because we look at data and we say, okay, what percentage of people are getting results? So when do I get a chance to pull back and say, hey, let's tweak that? So for instance, we used to actually teach people how to build funnels. Then I realized that's a fail point. People don't want to learn how to build funnels. They want what a funnel does, right? So we tweaked it and said, no, let's make that fully done for you. But we've got a funnel coach that we do a funnel call each week that'll walk you through what we built for you. Now you don't learn how to build it. You just learn, here is what we built, right? So it's a walkthrough. So to that point, man, I think it's transparency. And I'm not beating up on people. I think we got to see both sides. There are some coaches, like you said, bad actors, bad apples, that I think are better marketers than they are coaches. Because if I can say this really quick, coaching is a skill, right? So because you're an entrepreneur, and I'll use real estate as an example. I'm not talking about people that's in real estate. I got to throw that disclaimer out, right? I'll use it as an example. Bro, you could be the best in the world at real estate. That don't mean you know how to teach somebody how to do it, because teaching is a skill. Speaking is a skill. Coaching is a skill. So people think that they can be an entrepreneur and be successful in this area, and they don't realize in order to teach someone how to do it, you need to pay to learn that skill. You don't just acquire the skill of communicating, speaking, coaching, education for visual learners, kinesthetic learners, auditory learners, right? So you think, I taught them the information, but you didn't teach it in the way they needed to learn it. So the problem is you. The problem is not the person.
I love it.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest issue, and we, our community specifically have to learn how to differentiate those who can market the best, right? Because what I've noticed in my years in this space is that the best marketers are usually not the ones who are actually doing the thing anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they find the person who has the skill, they learn from that person what to say, then they say it, and then sometimes you get caught up in the lifestyle, you get caught up in again the market, you get caught up in the popularity, you get caught up in what they're promising. Sometimes they don't promise nothing. Sometimes it's just the glitz and the glory and all that stuff, and then now you get into their program, and then now you're stuck, right? You're stuck. You're not getting any results. Now you have a negative view on this coaching space. Now you're telling everybody like everybody's a scammer.
Yeah. Well, the best marketers, like you said, are very, very, very rarely the best operations people.
Right.
You're a unicorn if you're both. Like, I feel like we have certain skills that we're given. The problem is that when people don't realize that they're not the best of everything, right? So you can be the best marketer, that's okay. But like, I've seen people who've had programs, for example, and in their programs, they're great at attracting people. They'll attract hundreds of, maybe thousands of people into their program. And every mastermind and mentorship is about more marketing, and that's fine. If you're gonna say, well, I know I'm not great at operations, so let me pay some money into somebody who's great at operations to run my operations. And that's a lack. It's missing. So there's no systems. There's no structures. And that's why I would tell people when you're looking for a mentorship, the person who is the mentor might attract you, but look at their structure.
Right.
Look at their designs. Look at who they have on their team.
Right.
Because those are the people who are generally running it. The person who's marketing is typically the visionary who's getting the idea out. But if they don't have a background, if they don't have fruit, then they may not be for you.
Yeah, if someone's telling you they have this extremely large portfolio, but not one time do you see they have a back end or office of 30 or 40 people, something's wrong.
Yeah.
There's no way you have this infrastructure that's so huge, but you're the only one who's standing there, and you don't have an office.
You're the CEO,
You're saying
the tech
you're
person.
everything, and it doesn't make sense. Like, you need to start putting those pieces together to realize something's not right here. And there's a difference between being in a mentorship and investing money with someone. Like, it's a way big difference. If you want to give somebody money to invest in them, you need to find out what is it you're investing in, what is it that they have a proven record in, did they invest with somebody else, and talk to other people and not be enamored. And also, we got to get away from my people. Stop investing in things that you don't have time to do. Like, you want to invest money in these things that you don't have time to do. Then you gather this information and then say, I learned it, but now I want to give you money so you can go do the thing that you just learned to go do. If you don't have time, and I'm going to speak for my space, if you don't have time to do flips, fixes, renovations, you don't have time to do all this thing involving real estate, why are you taking all of these courses? If you know you have a job, why are you saying to yourself, I'm going to flip 30 properties this year?
Yeah.
That's time consuming.
But can we talk about the psychology a little bit of buying, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of times when people are buying these courses, these coachings, things of that nature, there's a psychology to it, right? So you think about, and this is a psychology that works throughout the land of time, right? The reason why, you go to the supermarket and the milk is all the way in the back is because they want you to walk through everything else before you get to the actual essential items so you can pick up other things. The reason why when you get to the cashier, they got the chips and the magazines and the candy and all that stuff, because those are impulse buys. And in those impulse buys, they know you're going to pick those things up. And so the same thing happens in the coaching world, right? Is that they lure you in with the milk, right, which is something that you actually need. And then there's the upsells, the downsells, the thing, and at that moment, the funnels, right, which are very effective and they actually work psychologically. And people are like, all right, at that time, all right, oh my God, this is a one-time offer. I got to make sure I do this, or this is too good. This is a good sale. I'm not going to get this sale anywhere else. And so now they have a split second, if you will, to make a decision between making this purchase or not making this purchase for something that they believe they need, right? And so their heart is pumping and they're trying to figure it out. What are some things that people could do to really help them decipher if this is the person they should be actually investing in?
Yeah. So it's 4 things I teach to our clients, and it has nothing to do. I tell them, whether you invest with us or not, I want you to be an informed buyer. Here's why. I don't want any of us to take the whooping for a previous coach, right?
Yeah.
That's really what happens. Somebody gets beat out of something and they make a vow, I'm never going to X, Y, and Z. So they expect us to hop on one leg, jump through hoops because of the last person, right? So I always try to educate the people that I'm fortunate enough to coach, to lead, mentor, whatever the case may be, of the 4 things to look for before you pull out your credit card, right? I think every high-level program, depending on what level you're investing in, you got to first decide what do you need. No program will work if you're unclear on what you want. Like, I don't care what it is. So you got to ask yourself, I call it ISSA. Do you need information? That means someone knows something that you don't know, and if you knew it, you would make more, become more, do more. So if I say, I know about working out, but I don't know what workouts to do to lose weight, I pay for information. I know about real estate, but I don't know what's the best avenue to take in the real estate space. I pay for information for you to help me navigate that, right? If I have the information, but I'm not getting a result, I don't need to buy information. I don't need a course. I need strategy. I got knowledge, but I don't know how to get a result from it. So I'm looking to invest in a coach that can show me how to take my raw information and give me a strategy to get predictable results with. If I buy an information course, you didn't scam me. I bought the wrong thing.
Right.
Right? Because I needed strategy.
Right.
The second S in it is where you actually have a strategy that is producing predictable results. You're making 5 figures, 6 figures a month. You're exploding. Your marketing is working. Your lead gen is working. Let's say you're doing webinars and people are showing up, but you're not closing. You don't need information or strategy. You need a system. You don't know what to do when things don't work predictably. So you find a coach that is an expert in building a system. So if you said, hey, I need a lead gen system to be able to close more of my leads. Hey, I need a follow-up system to figure out how to follow up with leads I already paid for. Hey, I need to learn how to optimize my ads that I'm already paying. See, that's system. We're talking a whole nother talk. So what I listen for in a marketer is a marketer that can speak to not my ignorance, but my success.
Wow.
A marketer that speaks to my ignorance to say, hey, if you're looking to make 6 figures, that's ignorance. That's I don't know how to get to 6 figures. A marketer that speaks to my success, if you're making 6 figures and you want to figure out how to remove yourself from the day-to-day, want to learn how to hire coaches, how to build your operations and scale.
That's a bar.
We are now, see, you hear the language. My language pivoted to speaking to the success of a person and talking about the system to maintain that success.
That man good.
You know what I'm saying? If you are generating 6 and 7 figures and you're exploding in business, but you realize you don't have time freedom, I want to show you how to only coach 1 day of a week, and how to build your infrastructure to do fulfillment events to fulfill your programs instead of having to do coaching calls. See how that's talking success? It's showing you how to make a pivot in a business you already have.
Good.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
I can go back and forth and I can tell you marketing message for information, marketing message for strategy. If I'm doing marketing message for strategy, then I take what you're already doing and show you how to do an exchange, this versus that. Hey, so you're already doing 5-day challenges, but I want to show you how to, in a 5-day challenge, pivot from that to closing more sales, generating more ticket sales, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. That's that strategy. You see what I'm saying?
So I know you got to finish, but to that point, somebody told me, and it just made sense what you said, stop teaching somebody to get from A to Z.
Yeah.
And start teaching them how to get to M to Z.
Yeah.
Speak to the M, because you're going to attract the people that you start with. So if you say, well, I was in poverty, I was homeless,
Right.
and now I'm this, that's great, but guess who you're going to attract? People who was in poverty, that was
100%.
homeless. But if you want somebody that's successful, that's already there, say, let me tell you what happened when took me from 6 figures to 7 figures.
Yeah.
The starting point was the 6 figures. That's who you're going to attract. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I heard you say.
Yeah, and it's also wrong to you, right? Everybody in this room, all of us have been blessed to be able to cross that magical ceiling that people want of 7 figures, right? Well, the issue is if I do a program that puts y'all in the same room with those who are at A, you're gonna be bored. If somebody, hey, what's an LLC? Marvin gonna be like, hey, get me out of here, right?
That's true.
If somebody is asking questions that that is asking for permission, not strategy, right? They still need the mindset to say, is this okay? Instead of the strategy of how do I do it?
Yeah.
We're aggravated.
We changing everything.
Yeah.
Right? So you gotta adjust the room.
It's so funny because that actually happened to me in real time. I started a coaching program, I say about 2 years ago, called Mailbox Money Academy. And I had a group of people who were just starting out, and I had a group of people who were at M already, right? And so everything was all good until I got the M people to R, right? So like one of my, and I remember specifically where one of my clients, she was already a 6-figure earner, and she just needed to get to that 7-figure mark. And so, I was coaching her. So she got the 7 figures, and we all celebrated. Oh my God, 7 figures. She probably stayed like 2 weeks. And then she called me specifically, and she was like, Ash, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. I love the group. I love everything you built, but I'm going to go with this coach over here. And I was like, what? She was like, because I need more, right? And I feel like this current group, I'm more advanced than them, and all I'm doing is helping to motivate them, but nobody's really pouring into me but you, right? And she wasn't looking for just me to be the coach. She was looking for a group of people that she could lean on to, and so that's absolutely
which
true.
is why you need different levels.
Absolutely, always.
You spoke offline about levels,
Yeah,
and about how you build the levels for that particular reason. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I want to make sure if anybody's listening to, I finished the ISSA thought, right? So information, strategy, system, and accountability. I call it ISSA. It's actually our coaching model. It's how we teach people how to build high-ticket programs. The more someone pays, you really should have all 4 present. Sometimes you create one-off programs that has just system, just strategy. But if it's a mastermind or something more high-ticket, you want all 4 to be present, but it's probably about 10-20% information.
What's the 4 again?
Information, strategy, system, and accountability. Accountability, very simple, is a person already knows their space, but what they want is, hey, bro, I'm doing such and such. What you think? And you make small tweaks.
Right.
They're not asking for permission. Hey, man, look at this and tell me if I should add something to it. And you should say, oh, you're back in. Hey, I'm putting together this event. Man, you guys kill it with Path to Prosperity events. You can look and say, hey, you need a different speaker on day 1. They don't need you to tell them how to do an event. They don't need strategy. They need accountability where they can ask someone that is further along specific questions and get a answer, right? I think all great programs should have those. However, going back to the buyer, how do they know who to invest in is what I teach my clients. You should ask questions based on what you need. Do you need information? Do you need strategy? Do you need system? Do you need accountability, or do you need a combination of them? So before you pull out your credit card to buy, you should ask strategy questions, not information questions. You should ask system questions, not information questions. You should ask, hey, if you say, hey, I know I'm needy right now. Is this just group where you rush me through and answer a question quickly, or will I have like an actual person that can look at my stuff? You don't want to get in a program and the person say, hey, it's 700 people in here. I'm gonna answer your question real quick and blitz through it. Right. If you know you need, hey, bro, I got a lot going on. I need somebody that can look at my stuff. Now I can say, nah, I ain't doing that.
Right.
And you can make a decision and go to the coach that got less people, less audience, less influence. Now, if the coach builds a program that includes ISSA, and if the buyer, before they pull out their credit card, asks questions based on that, both people can come into a healthy relationship.
That's deep.
Yeah. I love it. And then so now we want the behind the scenes info.
You building ISSA, right?
Yeah.
So are you structuring your programs around ISSA or around levels for the people, or what?
So it 100% is levels. So I always say there's a pickup and a drop-off location of every program. We call it a program promise, right? So if you teach beneath me, you bore me. So if I'm in a room and you're talking to me about how to generate your first 5 figures, well, I'm not in a condescending way. I'm beyond that, right? Yeah. So if you start talking about that, you bore me. If you talk beyond me, you lose me. So the job of a program, you ever been in a room and somebody's teaching from stage and you're like, oh, get to the point, bro. Okay, I got it, move on. That means they're talking beneath you. They bore you mentally. if they don't define some of the terms and they start making statements and talking about, let's say, one of the concepts I'm teaching at my event coming up, neuroeconomics. It's the idea of neuro, meaning the brain, how the brain responds to numbers and what they buy and that psychology surrounding it, right? So if I say, yeah, neuroeconomics, blah, 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 if I talk beyond an audience without defining it, I lose them. Right? If I talk beneath them, I bore them. So every program, you should know, are you picking people up from zero, meaning they have no knowledge of that space? That means you got to define the terms. You got to educate them on what is becoming your own bank. What is insurance? How is it structured? There is zero.
Right.
That's, you see what I'm saying? So your program is structured and saying, I'm picking you up from zero, I'm dropping you off at either 1 or 2 or whatever that looks like. So I'm picking you up from no information, I'm dropping you off at information to decide how to get started, right? That's how programs are structured, a pickup and a drop-off location. I'm picking you up from idea, meaning I've got a guy who's a podiatrist. It's not, when I say picking people up, it doesn't mean that they're not making any money. It just simply means they're not making money in the online space.
Right.
So I'm going to take you from the idea of your practice to online income with the same information. Pick up location from idea to an online course that you can charge no less than $1,000. You have a funnel that you can run with it, a webinar that you can drive traffic to, and you'll know how to produce content to attract your ideal audience. See how specific that is?
That is, and that totally changes the mentality, because I just talked about the whole A through Z situation. And I'm saying don't stop teaching from A and teach to M. Well, now, based on what you said, a good program is going to have, they might have a level, if you choose to, that might be A to D.
Yeah.
And then it might be an E to K.
100%.
And then, because it's not just M to Z, you got to have different drop-off points and start the next program at the next level, so that you're not speaking above people or below people.
Yeah.
You got a segment that fits in that direct category that you're speaking to.
Yeah, and you craft it to, really, it's like playing a video game. You know what I'm saying? How video games, if we're playing NBA 2K, it's me versus Ash Cash. However, when you create a coaching program, it's me versus me. It's the version that they are right now versus the version of what they want to become. So you structure your program to almost create this gamification where a person competes against themselves. It's the person that wants the result versus the person that don't want to do the work.
Right.
It's the person that wants the information versus the person that want to watch the video. So it has to be structured in that way. So ours is structured where idea to online income, that's our first level, right? So it's a full training portal that a person can watch on demand at their own pace. Pause, rewind, fast forward at their own pace, but I won't sell anybody something that is an information transfer without support. So that comes with weekly coaching, right? So you got online portal with every single Monday.
You're doing the weekly coaching?
Sometimes I'm on there every Monday, but we got coaches that do it as well, right? But the goal of that is a person who, they don't have all the information in the online space. They don't know what a funnel is. So they need the portal so they can go at their own pace, so I don't bore the room that's already there. But they also need the weekly support. So if I give them that, they need the accountability, right? So the information is in the portal. The strategy is in the portal. The system and accountability is in the coaching calls. You get what I'm saying? And it holds them accountable to it. They can't even get access to some.
It's a genius.
Right? Right? They can't get access to the other rooms and the other coaches until they submit certain things. So the first thing we do, our portal is set up in chronological order, right? I can walk you through it. It's what to post, what to post and what you have to know about social media. Then it's what to sell. We break down for you PSSP, product, service, subscription program. So you learn about what should you sell online. Should you sell a digital product? Should you sell a subscription? Should you sell a program? Should you sell a service?
Right.
Then they go into how much to charge. How much to charge, who to sell it to. So you learn how to find your audience. Then you learn how to launch it, our 6-step launch process. Then you learn how to sell it. Selling with webinars, selling with sales calls, selling with virtual events. You get what I'm saying? How to launch an ad. That's the portal. The portal is a chronological order that takes you from idea to online income. But you submit a document to our team, and you only get access to the call when you submit the document. Why? Accountability.
What about the information?
Yep.
Is all the information there at one time? Or only
All of them are in there, and all you got to do is find your question, and no video is more than 10 minutes. And I filmed it like a reality show. So it's me in Miami. It's me in the car. It's me talking to them. It's over the shoulder, and it comes with a funnel already in it.
Right.
So the same funnel they come through to buy from me,
They can get.
I give them the funnel in the portal.
Nice.
And then they watch me building the funnel and filming the video. So I got my videographer film me filming it, and there's a camera behind it showing it that I'm talking to like documentary style.
Wow.
Right?
I love that.
So that's our first level, right? That's a person that can watch at their own pace and get the coaching calls every Monday. Then you've got our next level, which we call our CLS Mastermind. It's create, launch, sell. That's 12 weeks. Can you hear the promise of it? Create the course, launch it, and sell it. It's a very clear promise.
Yes.
Yeah.
The promise is create. The first one is I did online income. The second one is create, launch, sell, mastermind.
Wait, the first one is what?
I did an online income coaching and mentorship program, right? It's to take a person that just got ideas and they want to know, how do I start making online income from it? You can hear these clear promises,
Right.
and you can hear the supports around it. CLS Mastermind is create, launch, sell. We create something you can sell from $1,000 to $3,000. We're not. You don't get to choose the price. We're telling you the price, right? We show you and we walk you through how to launch it, but you're not. We create it with you. We give you our actual launch process and sales. Here's the amazing part. That program, they pay us $10,000. We create a 10K day for you, a 10K launch. If you don't make your 10K, I coach you for free until you do. If you still don't do it within a 90-day window, our team will look at the data, we'll reevaluate it, and if you go beyond our 90-day window, I'll do something with you. Like, so
It's a strong promise, bro.
because I know for a fact, bro. Think about this.
I love it.
Think about this. If you sell something for $1,000 to $3,000, you need 10 people, or 5 people,
Right.
or you need 4 people.
Right.
Facts.
10, 5, 4.
Right.
If I can't build a webinar and drive traffic with our launch strategy for you, and you can't get 4 people to buy, it's a horrible offer, and I'll recoach you and readjust your offer.
Question, because this kind of goes back to the original topic, which fits along with what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you know you're going to get them the results if they do the work.
100%.
Keyword is if they do the work.
Yeah.
So what happens if no matter what, they go through this period, they go through this 90 days, and they're just not doing the work. They're not showing up.
Yeah.
They don't come to any meetings, and then they come
That's a
back
good
later
one.
and say, it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Because that's going to happen from
Yeah.
time to time. I don't know if it ever happened to
How
you.
much game can I give? Like, old school Leroy, how much game can I give on this?
Leroy.
Give it up, man.
Just
So-
get a game, bro.
2 sides of this. Everybody, I don't care who it is, the elephant in the room is coaches and entrepreneurs who receive chargebacks from people who buy something and charge it back.
Yep.
Right? So
And didn't do the work.
what we do in our infrastructure is I got a person tied to that. Every single call, my VA screenshot the minute marks. I can show it to y'all in a document, how long you were on, if you logged in. So we got a data sheet of that. That client success coach job, if Ash Cash didn't show up, hey Ash, we hate that we missed you. Tonight we went into X, Y, and Z. It's an important part of the program that you'll need in order to launch, blah, 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 blah. Please respond and let us know. Number 1, I got documentation, so if you charge back,
Good.
right?
Because we got the first part.
Yeah, but that
Oh,
part.
I'll show y'all the document. We can see how many minutes you were on and everything.
Okay.
My team pulls it.
Yeah.
And they screenshot it on down the line, right? So I got documentation that shows, and it's in your client profile, that we got messaging that showed that we reached out to Ash Cash on, let's just say, May 29th, and he didn't attend. June 3rd, he didn't attend. And he responded to the message and said, oh, my bad, I was busy. Oh, this.
This is good because you practicing what you preach.
Yeah.
You're talking about systems and accountability, and you have systems of accountability
Right.
that you're putting into place. So you're teaching them the very same thing that you're doing.
Oh, I could sleep good at night because I got something in place that says I've done everything possible to ensure that my clients have success,
Yeah.
right? So you got that side of it.
How you had that conversation with them? They come back, I didn't get any results. Well, I got the documentation. Tell me about how that conversation goes.
So that's an email, right? So, or for instance, so I don't mind giving our infrastructure. I've got a full-time person, which is what most people don't do. I'm willing to pay money for something that doesn't generate revenue, right? So I've got a virtual assistant that her whole job is our clients hear from us Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is my coaching day. I only coach on Monday. So they hear an update. That message is, hey, Leroy, can't wait to see you today on the such call where we'll go into this. So you know exactly what the call is about. Wednesday is a follow-up of the information that was taught on Monday. Because I never coach without giving you an actionable step. hey, don't forget we went into how to create our bullseye offer and how to create our ATM offer. Don't forget to submit your information. If you got any questions or forgot and need us to resend you the replay, please reply to this. It's a text and an email. That's on Wednesday. Friday.
It's automated?
No, it's physical. It's a person that's hired to do it.
Wow.
Okay. Like most people, and my homeboy said, like, bro, that don't make no sense. I wouldn't pay for that. I will.
Yeah.
I will pay for a person and they give me data sheets. How many people are in our discovery phase? How many people are in our design phase? Discovery phase is where they're trying to figure out their offer, their messaging. Design phase is where we're ready to build their funnel. Delivery phase is where they're launching and selling. I get a report of this. If we got 40% of the people in quarter one that's in design phase, we're not launching a program until we do something to put these people over the hump. Hey, let's do a pop-up call. Let's add something. It tells me what to do as a coach. So now it tells me, hey, tell everybody we're doing a 2-day virtual intensive. Tell everybody they can fly to Atlanta. We're doing a 1-day hands-on intensive. Anybody that hasn't launched yet, I'll come and spend a day with me. It tells me what to do.
It's game changer.
Yeah.
It don't cost that much to have somebody be that accountability piece.
Right.
But do you see how as a coach, like when I'm talking and I'm seeing in the space, I notice a lot of people are great at bringing people in,
Right.
but they don't have any infrastructure that
But those are the systems that's the lack of systems that cause scam. I mean, you can actually lack of systems equals scam.
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
I love it. So that answers the question, you all. If you're trying to see if something is a scam or not, you need to dig into the systems and
Right.
dig into the infrastructure. Dig into what are you doing to hold me accountable? What are you doing to hold yourself accountable?
Yeah.
And without those systems of accountability, you walking into a nightmare.
100%.
Essentially.
100%.
That's good.
100%. Or even your contracts, right? Your agreement. Most jargon get lost in the contract that we give to people. We say, oh, they signed an agreement. Our agreement has check boxes at the top of it of everything we promise in the program. Why do we do it that way? Because if it gets lost in jargon, so there's 2 signatures. It's if we say create a course with you, build your membership site, write your emails. If it'll come with a virtual event, it'll come with this and this. It's a checkbox for each one. So the client checks it, signs underneath that. Then they hear all the other terms and sign again. Why do we do that? Because every single month, here's what you do while people, I'm giving too much.
You got me ready to sign up for your program,
Right.
bro.
For
We're
real.
writing a check.
Here's what you do while people are happy. If the program is 12 weeks or 16 weeks,
Right.
what happens if every month, remember the checkbox of everything you promised? Hey, Ash, I want to hop on a call with you, or if you don't have time, just want to send over to you, here are the things we signed. These are the things we've done so far. Take a look at it because we want to hold ourselves accountable. We don't want to get to the end and realize you didn't get everything.
Wow.
Ash Cash responds, oh, yeah, I did get this, and this. Or, hey, what does this mean? And we can define because it could get lost in jargon. Right. Oh, we actually did do that. When you say you don't know what the automation sequence is, that's the follow-up emails we built. Oh, great.
Gotcha.
So do you mind signing here just month 1 to track your progress? Guess what happens if you charge back? Every single month I showed that I walk you through the whole thing and you checked off. We don't lose chargebacks because we got all the messages, we got the contract, and guess what happens at the end? We do something different. We do onboarding, mid-boarding, and offboarding of all of our clients.
The offboarding.
Wow.
That's it.
Who mentions this?
Yeah.
Hey, the perfect first guest for
Yeah,
Path to Prosperity
100%.
podcast.
And so,
Hey, I'm learning, man. I should have had my notepad.
100%.
I'm in here like,
Look,
I'm
please
gonna put this in
rewind
my
this
phone
bad boys
so
behind
bad.
us. We have to rewind it.
I'm giving away everything.
He give it. I watched about at least 3 of Marcus's interviews.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen him get a game away like
Nah,
this
he getting
behind the
game
scenes
away.
of
He getting
infrastructure.
game away. And then so where did you learn this from?
Yeah, so when I got into the space, I got into the online space in 2014. It was nothing but freeconferencecall.com. There was no IG Live, no Facebook Live. It was Periscope, free conference call.
Yeah.
Right, so I was an avid student, made a lot of mistakes. I don't know being cheap. My first investment in coaching was $10,000, right? Yeah. So I learned it through getting around people, trial and error, as well as I didn't get started with online coaching. I got started in the consulting space where I was working with pharmaceutical companies, while I was working with hospitals. So you don't get to say, I'm going to take you to the next level. CEO like, heck you mean? How much is that?
What's the next level?
Right?
That's it, right.
So to the online entrepreneur, you can promise them the next level.
Right.
I learned how to think and talk business. Hey, let's hire this person because it'll give us a 20% increase. So I think year to date. I can tell you everything I'm doing from now all the way to next year. So I teach my clients that. So you notice my brain thinks this so you can do that. Okay, this strategic piece. So we're now, this conversation is a operational CEO conversation.
Right,
we're not having this ain't an entrepreneur conversation.
Right.
Yeah, this is a CEO conversation, right?
Like the scalability, because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position to 10x your business, which is also giving permission and the availability for your students to learn how to 10x their business.
Yeah. That's why I didn't do that's why for 2 years, if you all notice, I haven't done a high-end inner circle. For 2 years, everybody was like, why not?
Why is that?
Because I was gung-ho on, I was willing to give up that revenue of millions of dollars we could have made from inner circle to perfect what I'm telling you all now. Here's why. My goal was, my system is the monetized online business blueprint, right? Our inner circle now, we're launching it in July. It's a partnership program and a franchise program. What does that mean? I'm going to give you my business. So everything I'm saying now, my inner circle comes with, you get my SOPs. You get how we hire skilled employees versus admin employees. You get how we manage chargebacks, right? So everything we did.
Hey, the man with the master plan. Right? He's like, look, you thinking I'm giving up millions, but I'm setting myself up for billions.
Right.
Yeah. It's a partnership program to say, my inner circle that I'm opening up now, I'm partnered with you in business.
Yeah.
Where literally everything that you do, you get my entire business. Like a Chick-fil-A, you don't get to choose what's on the menu.
Right.
I'm selling you that.
A franchise.
Right? So we got a franchise part of our inner circle and a partnership part. The partnership part is where you can do it on your, we'll teach it all to you, do it on your own. And an aspect of it is with your lunches and all that, I'll be involved in it. You can just show up and my team will run the back end. That's the partnership side. The franchise side of it is where we get a franchise fee, where you like, Marcus, there's no way the way your brain works, mine don't work that way. Right? So you like, I don't know when to launch it, when to do this. You don't have to. I'll tell you when.
Wow.
If you own a McDonald's, they tell you when to bring the McRib back. Right? So that's what those will look like. And now imagine there's entrepreneurs that want an education company, but they don't think the way that I think.
Right.
So they'll get an opportunity to now, here you go, buy my business. Buy my actual infrastructure, buy my data tracking, buy my sales pages. You don't build a funnel, my team build it. If you say tomorrow, hey Marcus, this week I'm running a webinar, cool. Submit the thing and my team just show up.
But see, from what you know, it's heavier. So what I'm hearing you say is you invested in yourself, but I think you went beyond just investing in sales and marketing. You had to invest in business, operations, return on investment, standard operating procedures, key performance indicators, all those technical terms, profit and loss that we don't really talk about as much in our community. So tell us about that extra level of information that a lot of people are missing.
Yeah, so I think we too often only invest in people who do what we do. So if you're a point guard, you only invest in a point guard. Well, if your goal is to be Phil Jackson, you don't need to invest in a point guard. You need to invest with someone who sees it in a different way. So one of my first mentors was a guy who owned multiple veterinary clinics. He don't do what I do. However, right? It's a transferable skill. The other guy was a guy who, brilliant, I would say his name, and he was the first person that I saw that he went into a deal and it made him very wealthy. He gave up money and said, pay me nothing. It was a consulting contract in the pharmaceutical space. He said, don't pay me anything. Give me a percentage of what I built. So he built out the sales team and said, they offered him what he said, $500,000 or $1 million or something like that, $1 million contract. He turned down $1 million and said, I want 2.5% of what me and my team build. Well, that turned out to be a whole lot more. So I learned a whole lot from that. Right? The ability to give up revenue on the front end to get equity of something. I didn't know what that meant. I used to work at Florida State that was my last job I worked. I was over the budget of that. So being able to see we couldn't insure nothing that was less than $10,000, and seeing how all these budgets were managed and how we were able to retain talent, you start thinking differently, right? So what I find in the space now that aggravates me and why I'm in the space but kind of off the grid too, y'all probably noticed, there's a lot of conversations that people are having that it's a hollow business, right? There's no real structure. Like the business in essence is a social media page and a funnel.
Right. In fact,
It's not a business.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a business.
Personalities is based off personality.
Even now, I paid $45,000 for a leadership coach just to teach me how to get more out of my team. That's not something people pay for.
Right.
Our revenue in terms of like we invest almost 5 figures a month on something that is not our sales team. I'm talking about to support our clients. Top of the year this year, I told my team when we looked at the data for our retreat, I said, send out a message to anybody we coached last year. We built 526 courses last year from scratch. I said, send out a message to anybody that didn't make 6 figures and tell them I'll coach them for free for the first quarter every Monday to make sure they make 6 figures.
Wow.
Why am I willing to do that? Because I think that from a business standpoint, we cannot just tie ourselves to money.
Right.
Companies are thinking 5-year, 10-year. Yeah. This new entrepreneur is thinking, I had a 5-figure day, I had a 6-figure day. No. Right. If you look back, I can honestly say, and I'll stand on this, if you're a client of mine, if you can look around and you can find somebody that'll badmouth me, and I've been in this space since 2014. This is 2023.
Right.
If you got a bad experience with me, it was because we didn't know. We were learning.
Right.
Come back to me right now. If you don't like what we did, we will coach you for free, relaunch you. You don't owe me nothing. Wow. Like, that's how serious I am about it.
Well, just listening to earlier in the interview and what you just said, you said there's different points of emphasis that if a person is looking for a mentor and not looking to get scammed, that they need to figure out exactly what they want.
Yeah.
That key point of access, whether it's conversion, whether it's getting prospects, whether it's sales, that the specific point, and find you a specialist in that particular area if you want to get coached in that area.
Yeah.
What you just told me, you realized that you wanted to build up your team for leadership. So you went out and did something that you don't hear people doing. You didn't get a business coach.
No.
You didn't get an overall strategist. You said, let me find a leadership
specifically
coach to help me to build a leadership team.
Yeah.
So that's practicing what you preach, because you said that earlier.
100%. In the space, man, like you all know, I love what y'all do. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I had a chance to come sit in the room. I couldn't come to the whole thing, Pathway to Prosperity in Fort Lauderdale. And when I was watching, man, y'all did something I never see people do. You actually invested you invested in the people, because you didn't shortchange. Wasn't no paper plates, So you invested in the people, you invested in the experience, you invested in the room. But here's the part that no one does, because you all know we speak for other people's events.
Right. Yep.
The average person will make money off of your image and likeness and sell tickets saying Marvin's going to be there, Ash going to be there, but they're going to treat you like trash and treat the guests better. You actually treated your speakers well. It was the first time I had ever seen like, I pay attention to everything.
I appreciate that, man.
Right? Yeah. So
focus.
To that point with leadership, what I've learned is this is the secret thing that I'm focused on now. You don't just market to clients, you must market to your team. Your team has to be marketed to and have buy-in and be just as excited.
Yeah.
So now, that's the way I do it. I want my sales team, I want my videographer, I got a full-time videographer, editing team, I want them equally excited. We got rules that are in place, things that are in place that should make business fun, but it should also, information strategy, system, and accountability is in my leadership. It's, what's the accountability? We got a rule in our company that ignorance expires in 24 to 48 hours. So if we're in a meeting and you say, I don't know, you got 24 to 48 hours to figure it out. Here's why. You get paid every 2 weeks.
Right.
If you go a week and I don't know didn't expire, you got paid to not know. Who you think gonna find out for you? Not me. I pay you to know. Wow. So in the information age, figure it out and come back with a solution, and I'll coach you on what you research. I won't coach you on ignorance.
Yeah.
Right? So that's...
This guy here's a walking bar, man.
Look, so I got a question, because we see all of this emergent technology, specifically artificial intelligence. How do you believe that artificial intelligence is going to expose coaches, and how do you feel like it will, is it going to hurt or help the space? Yeah. So it's definitely going to expose them. It already is. It's definitely going to expose them, because what most people have is what I call cognitive awareness. And I'll just make it simple. If I say the word funnel, the average person is aware of the term. But if I say, walk me through how to build it, why does it work, why is this there, that's where it get lost in the weeds. Or they're associated with ClickFunnels. The average coach
has cognitive awareness. They're aware of certain key terms. When you don't pay attention. So they just recite and regurgitate and have Tourette's as it relates to information that's circulated in the space. So AI exposed the person that can memorize Marvin stuff, Ash stuff, Storm stuff. It exposes those who got basic industry jargon.
Yep.
So that's a good thing.
Yep.
Now, what it can't do is where we are going to win, I'll say with AI, what you want is high skill, deep empathy. The coaches and the entrepreneurs who have deep empathy, meaning that it, like for me, it matters to you if your clients get results.
Right.
Where I'm willing to read an entire book to answer one question for my clients. I'm willing to hire a team to do something that you don't have the money to hire them for. I'm willing to go to a 3-day mastermind to learn one skill I can add in my program and add it as a bonus that you don't pay for. That's deep empathy. I take responsibility for your problem and I'm willing to pay for it.
That's the difference.
Right?
That's
AI
good.
don't do that.
Nope.
Right? Deep empathy and then high skill. Here's what AI cannot do. AI can only do an information transfer. It can transfer information from a system to you, but it can't do a skill transfer. It cannot teach you how to produce a skill. So AI can tell you build a house. AI can't tell you how do I nail this. AI could tell you what to do. It cannot tell you how to do it. AI could tell you these are the steps, but it does not have strategy, system, and accountability. It has information. It only has one part of ISA.
Wow.
Right? So
And so most of the coaches who only got information,
it's a wash.
dead in the water.
In the information age, AI is obliterated. You cannot charge for information anymore.
I was just talking to them about this. It's like I came out, it's about 2 years ago in this space, and I started talking about becoming your own bank.
Yeah.
Right? And it just exploded for some reason. I don't know, like it exploded. It went everywhere, which was great because a lot of people came into, becoming their own bank. A lot of people got insurance policies. My team we was having literally 100 appointments a week.
Wow.
It's crazy. But now everybody, it's like every time I look, there's a different person who's like a become your own bank expert. No license, no skills to do it, but let me tell you how to make your money 2 to 3. I said that. That's my words. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Like, I'm happy to inspire a group of agents, but if they actually are skilled and they got a license, now you are teaching people something without a license, telling them the wrong information, and that's kind of like AI. Like, give me some key terms to say to people. It's nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
One of the ways that I teach people how to recognize when someone is what I call a thought thief, where they steal the thoughts of somebody else and plagiarize it online, like steal your whole thought, full-fledged thought thief, is if you ask a question and the coach turns into a motivational speaker, he don't know his information. Right? So if you ask a specific question and say, hey, how do I structure my policy? And the person that cannot pound for pound walk you through and man, don't worry about that. The thing is, you just want to go all in. It's about your future. No. Don't turn more. Don't be more.
Commit to the policy first, and you can figure out the rest later.
With Ash Carey, I know he kills it in the book space and several other spaces. If somebody asks specifically, hey, man, what's the best way to structure it? I keep struggling with getting the actual information out. And instead of him giving them a systematic process and a skill for writing, if he's, man, it's just get it all out. Just sit down. If he turns into a motivational speaker, and the same with Storm, that's how you spot a person that only has information but not skill. If you are truly who you say you are, because you can teach what you know, but you can only produce what you are. So when you see people that don't have a lot of client
Don't
success,
let that go over your head. Slow down with that. Let's say that line again.
you can teach what you know, but you can only produce what you are.
Let me write that down so I can use that in next week's podcast.
You get what I'm saying? Like, I could teach how to have a baby, but there's certain nuance that only a mother can, right? So you can only produce the results that you are. I am a coach. I'm more consultant than coach, right? A coach, it leads you into inquiry, asks you questions, and leads you to discover the answer, right? It probes on the inventory that's already in you. Right. A consultant, as you can hear with me, I tell you you're following my path. I did this, and this. You don't guess what funnel you use, the funnel that I use to make $1 million. You don't guess what sales script you use, the one. I'm a consultant. I tell you the path. Right. So to that point, when you are working with someone, and here's the very simple statement, and I'll hush on this. Listen for a person that when you ask a strategy question, they give you motivational information.
That's a bar. Look, we have something like, look, if y'all don't subscribe to this channel, y'all, Path of Prosperity podcast, these are the type of quality guests that we're bringing on. We like to end with something that's called Path to Prosperity nuggets.
Yeah.
So it's just basically we all take a turn for like less than a minute or so, and we give a gem. Path to
gem of
Prosperity
the
gem
day.
at the end of the day. Ash, go ahead and top that off. Do your whole thing.
All right, so
Tell them your thing. Subscribe and do all that. We'll give you a whole speech.
nah,
that
for
you can
sure,
give.
for sure. So, my gem of the day is really based on what Marcus was. He broke down a lot, but the gem of the day is in this current space. You are not going to survive if all you have is information. Stop treating your expertise like that's all you need is to be an expert and know the information. You actually have to be able to know how to create systems, how to have the strategy, how to hold people accountable if you want to enter this space. Because at the end of the day, when you look at artificial intelligence, Google has done it for a while, but Google isn't as sophisticated as artificial intelligence. So now the information is there, but information alone doesn't get you to the next level. What gets you to the next level is the proper application of that information. But if you don't have the SSA, right? If you don't have the strategy, you don't have the system, you don't have the accountability, then you cannot properly implement that information.
Wow.
Gems.
Drop the mic.
Y'all killing it today, man. Listen, for me, the gem of the day is I want you guys to invest in the thing that you know you have time to actually do. And if you're going to invest in something you don't have time to do, look at it in this way. If you're looking to scale this thing out and hire someone to do the actual thing, and you just want to have the information in place so when you do hire the someone to do, you're being informed. Because if you don't have time, it's okay to invest in a business and hire someone to run the business, because you can fire that someone you hired. But you can't fire someone if you gave them a bag full of money and told them to go be great for me. You can't fire that person. So invest in what you know you have time to do, or you can hire someone that you can fire to now grow that thing out for you.
That's good. That's good. All right. Short-term thinking. Short-term thinking and talent can only take you so far. If you're looking to go to the next level, you might survive on talent alone for so much revenue. But at some point, if you don't have think time, if you don't have the infrastructure, if you don't have systems, if you don't understand your operations, if you don't understand scalability and how to actually 10x your business with delegating and teams and building, then you're going to fall flat. You're going to get here and then you're going to fall flat down. So you got to get to the point where you rely on systems and processes more than you're relying on just your talent.
Wow. Oh, I get a gem.
Oh, you get a
Yeah,
gem?
I get a gem.
I know you've been shining us this whole episode.
I didn't know. My approach is going to be a little different. What I would say is stop playing away games this year. What I mean by that is I recently had a chance to, in Miami, go watch LeBron James play. And it was a sold-out crowd where everybody there was there to watch LeBron, but they wanted the Heat to win. Stop playing away games where people are secretly there to watch your talent, but they want you to lose. Your goal this year, I'll say it again, everybody there was Miami fans, but they were fans of LeBron's talent. You want people that are actually on your team. Why? Because when you start losing, if they're a fan of yours, they will encourage you. They want you to win. They are not going to abandon you when you lose, and create an inner scoreboard where you can track score. Money is not the scoreboard for all of us. Peace is.
Facts.
It is not attainment, it's alignment.
Facts.
Bar.
When I say that was a heavy gem,
That was heavy, bro.
another episode of the Path to Prosperity podcast. We help you make, manage, and multiply your money. When I tell you Marcus has given us a lot of gems, you gotta, this is your responsibility, right? You gotta share this video. You got to watch it. You got to tell people, because this information is needed. There's a lot of money and impact to be made in this current season. But if you don't have the proper foundation, it's not going to happen. So make sure you're sharing it, you're liking it, you're reviewing it. Subscribe to us. Make sure you go to the PathToProsperityShow.com. like, review, subscribe on all of the podcast networks. And we'll see y'all next time, right? Next time, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And remember to do what?
Always seek knowledge.
knowledge.
Let's go.
Peace.
Peace.